These three? Wow. I'm happy to be up here with such great company. And wow, who knew, we'd be here over 2 years later. And my hat's off to Scott. Thanks for everything you've done to keep this thing going. And it's not only that, but to make it 100 times better. And it's great. It's great to see. It's beautiful. And Diane, thanks for being here. So I just have a little bit of news. In case you haven't heard, me and Tamara Woods are doing a poetry workshop, and this is going to be August 7th. And I'd handed out some flyers earlier, so get in touch with me. There's a registration form on the back. It's got all my info. And the deadline's the end of this month, July 30th. So if you have any questions about it, let me know. But it'll be here at the MAC. And it'll be a great workshop. We're going to explore metaphor, how to add more punch to your poetry, and also marketing, how to use the latest social marketing techniques. YouTube, these different Facebook, these different ways to get your work out there. Okay, so I'll just do a few poems here. How much time we got left? Oh, you are? Okay. Great, thanks for letting me know. Let me start this off with just a short poem here. It's called Shrinking. I think I wrote this in the wintertime in front of my trailer. There's an overhang and these icicles, and one night I was looking, wow, it's dripping, it's interesting. And my porch light was shining through the icicle. And so I wrote this poem called Shrinking. Your light bends through the icicle. That is my heart. That is my life. Night is warm. You are melting me. Water drips from my end. Each day I grow shorter, shrinking with light. Okay, so that's a short and sweet one. I moved to Oregon several years back and went through a big breakthrough with poetry and was doing a lot of open mics and things. And so I got a few of those poems here, and I may read a few. But this one I'd written about my family and what's the meaning of these things that's happened. So I titled this Gender Evolution. No one was listening to the music in the background. Oh, you could hear gospel in the Southern Baptist churches and country music in the honky-tonk bars. You could hear jazz on the streets of New Orleans and Chuck Berry singing a rock and roll tune about a girl in Memphis, Tennessee. But I'm not talking about that music. I'm talking about the music in the background, the melody that's playing when the world holds its breath. No one was listening to the music in the background. I couldn't hear it myself at first. Well, in the beginning when I was 5 and spit from my grandfather's boat at alligators in Florida canals, my spit plunged into the water like a deep sea diver and dissolved like sugar in hot coffee. Grandpa was the captain. After all, it was his boat, wasn't it? And he was the engineer, wasn't he? And women in our family were... He seemed to ignore my mother. Don't know if it was because she was the youngest or because he already had 2 boys. What was that song wailing in the background, sung by a lonely Florida banshee, the song that cicadas sing? You can usually hear it late at night when everybody's asleep and you're wandering around outside your apartment trying to think of some kind of conclusion for chaos, some solution to the puzzling clues that are falling all around you like October leaves. No one was listening to the song then. No one heard it, but I could feel its determined melody, like a truck's revolving drivetrain or a power drill, penetrating, burning like a blue gasoline flame. The music haunted me and opened me like the eyes of a woman in Afghanistan peering out beyond her shroud. I could hear that song, my mother's song, coming from a far-off country, flowing from a nation of rocks and rugged mountains, boiling from a harp and a violin in the melting sand. Information. What is information? Billions of dollars. What are billions of dollars? Weapons. What are weapons? They weren't in the song I heard, the song in the background. Grandpa never gave Mom the wheel of his boat, never found a way to hand her his cap so she could be the captain. And I know she wasn't the only girl in America from the 1950s to today who could have steered us straight toward home. But she wasn't taught to read the map. She wasn't given a compass. She could have done it, steered us toward peace. She was a Jupiter that came so close to becoming a star. Mother, where are you now? I can't see you. You're so far away, maybe living in that country everyone's talking about, listening to the music everyone else refuses to hear, the music in the background of existence.